Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Good evening. Going to call the meeting to order. We have Kevin, Denise, Bob, myself. We'll start by the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Peter?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're going to start, before we get into the appointments, we're going to start with, there was a passing of a Norton resident a couple weeks ago. Mr. Kimball, can you please?
It was had to report that senior airman Jacob Nicholas Foster Cole, age 24, a resident of Norton and a member of the United States Air Force stationed in Alaska, and more recently in Georgia, passed away on Sunday, August 3rd, 2025. He was born January 7, 2001 in Attleboro, the beloved son of Rachel Foster and Joshua Cole. Jacob grew up in Norton and graduated from Norton High School in the class of 2020. In October that same year, Jacob proudly enlisted in the United States Air Force. His service took him to Alaska, where a new chapter of his life began. He was quiet, thoughtful in nature, pretty much kept to himself. Governor Maury Healy has asked that all flags in the Commonwealth be lowered to half-staff from sunrise to sunset at all state buildings on Sunday, August 17, 2025.
I'd like to have a moment of silence, please. Thank you. Okay. Appointments or resignations. We have, first up, a resignation of Nathan Lowney from the Norton Fire Department. We also have a resignation of Evan Willard from the Norton Fire Department. Do we have any?
Mr. Lowney is transferring to the Fall River Fire Department, and Mr. Willard is just resigning for another opportunity outside of the Norton Fire Department.
Okay. Thank you, Chief. Next item is appointment of representatives to serve on the following: MFN Regional Wastewater District Commission, Southeastern Mass Health Group, SEMREC Board of Directors, and I believe this is a housekeeping matter, Chief, correct?
Yes, so the new town manager, Mark Gould, takes over on September 2nd. I'm the representative for these groups, and it's my term will end September 2nd, so I would suggest that the board make Mark Gould effective September 2nd, the representative to these committees.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I'll make a motion to appoint as representative to serve on the following: the MFN, that's the Mansfield, Foxborough, Norton Regional Wastewater District Commission, Southeastern Massachusetts Health Group, and SEMREC, and the Board of Directors effective September 2nd, 2025.
Okay, so this is a roll call because Mr. Marsan is on Zoom.
I'll second.
Okay. Kevin?
Yes.
Denise?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Roger? Yes. And I am a yes also. Next, we have appointment of municipal hearings officer, and this is same bucket, right,
This
Chief?
is the same housekeeping matter to make the appointment for September 2nd, 2025 for the new town manager, Mark Gould.
Chairman, I make a motion that we appoint Mark Gould to the municipal hearing officer effective September 2nd, 2025.
Second.
Second.
Okay. Mr. O'Neill? Denise?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Roger? And I am a yes. Unanimous. Okay. Does Mr. Gould know this?
He will.
One of
Minutes.
many hats.
Okay. Next item, we have the minutes. Approve the minutes, including but not limited to May 22nd, 2025 exec session, June 11th, 2025 exec session, June 17th, 2025 executive session, July 12th, 2025, July 14th, 2025, and July 24th, 2025.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve as written.
Through you, Chair.
Yes, sir. Ma'am, sorry.
It's okay. Because I'm going to abstain from one of them, can we just maybe do that one separately? The July 24th one, because I wasn't here.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes, May 22nd, 2025 executive session, June 11th, 2025 executive session, June 17th, 2025 executive session, July 12th, 2025 executive session, and July 14th, 2025 executive session.
Second.
Through you, Chair, sorry. Just correction, the July 12th and the July 14th are not executives. Just want to make that correction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me try it again. Make a motion to approve the minutes, but not limited to May 22nd, 2025 executive session, June 11th, 2025 executive session, June 17th, 2025 executive session, as written.
Second.
Kevin,
Yes.
Denise,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Roger? Yes. And I am a yes.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve the minutes of July 12th, 2025, July 14th, 2025, as written.
Second.
Okay. Kevin,
Yes.
Denise,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Roger? Yes. And I am a yes.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion we approve the minutes of July 24th, 2025, as written.
I'll second that one because you can't.
Kevin,
Yes.
Denise,
Abstain.
Bob,
Yes.
Roger? Yes. And I am a yes. Good, Jen? Okay, licenses and permits. Vote to approve the special events application of Melissa Zielek on behalf of Park and Rec for the 32nd Annual Chartley Halloween Parade scheduled from 12 to 2 p.m. on Sunday, October 26, 2025.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Sorry, point of clarification, Chair. Can we just say pending approval by the the Board of Health, Police, and Fire? Because those hadn't been approved yet.
We can, if they're not, yeah.
Yeah.
Jen, that's accurate? They haven't approved them?
The one that has since then is fire department.
Okay, so pending approval. Okay. With that, Kevin?
Who moved that?
Me.
One as amended?
As amended. Yep.
Second.
Okay, Kevin?
Yes.
Denise?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Roger? Yes. And I am a yes as well. Okay, announcements.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
There are 4 announcements. The Norton Historical Society presents a free event, the 13th Continental Regiment, the 18th Century Civilian and Soldier Camp. The Continental Regiment will set up a full-scale camp to include tents, cooking displays, and items used during colonial times. There will be talks on weapons, medical equipment, occupations, clothing tools, toys, food, and more. Learn more about the American Revolution and Massachusetts history. This will be located behind the old schoolhouse in Norton, 18 West Main Street, on Saturday, September 6th, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. with a rain date of September 7th, 2025. This event is free and open to the public, and all you history lovers, we hope you come out and check it out. And fears that maybe a few muskets may be discharged at the same time, so we encourage you all to come out. If you want to get an idea, it's the 275th anniversary, so it's a great chance to relive some of history. Boston's TPC will be coming to town on August 28th through August 31st. TPC of Boston. We just remind everyone that they will be on up and running those dates, and I would expect that the traffic on Mansfield Avenue will be extremely heavy during that period of time. Just another reminder, Northeastern Savings Bank is going to close their branch located at 172 Mansfield Ave as of Friday, September 12th, 2025. So, just keep everybody up to date on that. The fall annual town meeting will be held, is scheduled for Monday, October 20th, 2025 at 7 p.m. at the Norton High School. Warrant articles will be accepted until 3:30 p.m. on August 28, 2025 at the Select Board's office, Norton Town Hall, 72 East Main Street, Norton, Massachusetts. That's all I have.
Thank you, sir. On to new business. We have a recognition of Patrol Officer Taylor Cross of the Norton Police Department. Come on up, please. Chief?
Mr. Chair and members of the board. So back in July 16th, I issued a recognition letter to Taylor. Over the last 6 months, she's been really extremely helpful, both on duty and off duty, volunteering and assisting the animal control officer. There's been a number of dogs down the dog shelter that have been homeless, and it creates an enormous amount of work for the animal control officer. She established a Facebook page, established an Instagram page, goes down on her off days and walks the dogs. She definitely has a love for dogs, but it's even bigger than that. It's, what I found out within my first day of this new role is that the animal control officer was unable to take a vacation day all of last year. And in the early July, Taylor housed the last dog down there. So she found homes for all the dogs, which is really an amazing feat. So I mentioned it to the select board, and I don't know if she wants to talk about her efforts very quickly. She's not one for the limelight, but
I very much appreciate the opportunity to be here. It was definitely, I would like to stress, it definitely took a village for us to get all of the dogs into homes. Being able to use social media to, Is better? Okay. Like I said, it was a community effort. Social media has been a huge tool for us to get some exposure down for the shelter. And a lot of people in town didn't even know the shelter existed. So it's been really great to kind of have both my passions mix into one area. So I'm having a great time. It's been nice to connect with the community, and I look forward to helping save more dogs.
Thank you very much, Taylor. I'm sure Mr. Plant appreciates all the help you give him, for sure.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Thank you. I hope you didn't adopt all of them yourself.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Marcian.
Mr. Chairman? If I could add to that, we talk a lot about, we're fortunate in Norton to have a police force the way we have it. The participation that a lot of people don't even know about unless you happen to read it on Facebook or in the paper or whatever. This is just another example of how great a police department we do have, thanks to the chief and all the people that work beyond him. But it's that hometown feeling when you have people such as yourself step forward to make that happen. So we really appreciate it, and keep up the good work.
Thank
Put
you.
your resume in for chief. He'll be retiring pretty soon.
Thank you.
And Officer Cross, this is another great example of how, the saying, when there's a problem, being part of the solution, right? Rather than, I hate to say it, but complaining or whatever, pointing out problems. You just jumped in there and took care of a problem and connected, needy dogs that need a home to people that want them, and also helped out the dog officer at the same time, be able to take vacations. So thank you very much. Appreciate your initiative.
Thank you.
So with that,
Oh my goodness.
excuse me. So with that, from the Select Board, we have a certificate of recognition. May it be known that this certificate is hereby presented to Patrol Officer Taylor Cross in recognition of your tireless dedication and invaluable contributions as an animal adoption facilitator. On this 14th day of August 2025, the Town of Norton Select Board wishes to recognize your unwavering commitment to connecting animals in need from the Norton Animal Shelter with loving homes, bringing joy and improving countless lives. Your efforts are deeply appreciated and have made a significant difference in our community. Norton Select Board.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, goodness.
Well done.
All right.
I hope she's on duty right now, Chief.
She's gone. She's out of here. All right, so next up, presentation from the Board of Assessors followed by discussion and a vote on the following. HEROES Act, Clause 22J, Clause 59, Section 5C and a half, and age, reduce the age for the senior exemptions from 69 to 65 years old?
70.
70? 70 to 65. Okay. Who's going to present? Please, by all means, Mr. Dorney.
Good evening. Appreciate the opportunity to be here this evening as part of the chair of the Board of Assessors, but we have a good group, and I'd like to recognize them as well. And particularly our new member, Lucas Ray, he's active, and Mike Massoni is unable to make it tonight. He's out of town during a vacation, well-deserved, and Director of Assessing, Denise Ellis. So, feel free, guys, when you get a chance if you have questions. But what I'd like to do is kind of accent the presentation tonight. I'd like to, it's going to be data-driven, and it's going to be presented on facts. And from that, I'd like to do the presentation first, with your permission, and then we can follow up with some questions at the end.
That'd be great. Sure.
So tonight, there are three new, or we're introducing two new clauses, exemptions that fall under Mass General Law and managed by the Division of Local Services. Can everyone hear me all right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So, again, what we'd like to do is talk about these two clauses and the age reduction exemption or possibility of that. And again, this will be on numbers driven, and welcome your questions after. If you could, the first page here, again, we're going to talk about, first is called Clause 22J. It's also known as the HEROES Act. And it is part of or affects our current veterans in town. And it would increase the exemption for them as a double exemption. So they would get an increase of double what they get now. And if we look, we can talk about it in a bit, but there are two clauses that fall under the veterans, 22 and 22E. And those clauses make up 80 residents participate or enrolled in Clause 22, which is a disability exemption, and it is they are certified to be disabled between 10 and 90% disabled. Veterans Clause 22E, which we have 41 residents, they get an exemption of $1,000, and they are 100% disabled. Though they are 100% disabled, they do need to submit every year to the state to get approval and continue the exemption. I did mention, or I don't think I mentioned, on Clause 22, the exemption status rate is $400 per resident. So that would increase under the HEROES Act to $800. And Clause 22E would go from $1,000 to $2,000. And if you could go to the next page. So just as we're going to the next page, both 22 and Clause 22E, we have 121 residents, and their exemptions total $73,000. Get the next page, Brian.
Trying.
Okay. Thank
Excuse
you,
me.
Will. Thanks for doing this.
Rick?
Yeah.
Rick, can you back up? Can you say that last part again? What is
Yeah.
the $73,000?
Yeah, so
What
it's
comprises that?
the 70, so right now, their exemptions are 80 at $400, which comes out to $32,000.
Oh, it's the total of 22 and 22E.
Right.
I got you.
Okay.
So that is, in summation, the HEROES Act, or Clause 22J. I want to next talk about the seniors, reducing the age from, exemption age from 70 to age 65. You'll see on your handout, let me just hold on. It's, I don't know if you can see the handout, but it shows you the ages of our town residents per year. And it's really interesting. Again, the seniors fall under clauses 17E and 41D. If you look at the ages from, we talk about age 70 and over, there's, I guess, from age 70 to 74, we have 1,048 residents. From age 75 to 79, we have 762 residents. Then we go from 80 to 84, 527 residents. And then 85 to 90, 272 residents. We stopped at 90, but if we combine that with the present, and adding ages 65 to 69, we have a total of 1,337 residents. So between ages 65 and age 90, we have a total of 3,946 residents. From the information that we got, the latest information, our total population from, and this goes to 2023, is 19,146 residents. I believe that's probably an increase since the last 2 years. So if you divide the 3,946 by 19,146, we have almost 21% of our residents are over 65 years old. And I guess we're looking at this as a group and saying, well, can we lower that and give that exemption age to 65 and beyond? But it's unknown. We don't know what that impact would be financially. So at the moment, we're just not able to provide that information. I think it would be difficult to get that as well.
And Rick, that would be because we don't know the people in that, of the 1,337 people in that age group, who's going to take advantage of it or not, meet the criteria or not.
Correct. There's two financial, there's an income-based.
Yep.
And there's also an asset-based.
The criteria.
Correct.
Yep.
And, and many people today do work beyond 65.
Yeah.
But it would be hard to really come up with a number that would be true or somewhat,
You just
probable.
don't know who's going to sign up.
Correct.
Just don't know.
Right. You don't know. I mean, you have 1,337. But if you look at who we have now, ages 70 and over that participate, we have a total of, technically, it's a total of 209 people for exemptions, 209 residents. And seniors and veterans make up 181 of those, 209. So, again, to put a pin on the map, I don't know if you can really do that with a hard number. So our, I guess, presentation tonight on that would be, it's an unknown. So just want to provide that information to you. And again, the seniors, what we're talking about, 70 to 65, the age, they do fall under clauses 17E and 41D, which provide, 17E provides a exemption of $251, and this is FY25 numbers. We just recently found out, I think there's a COLA adjustment, which would be $258 per resident. There's 13 residents that are enrolled in that. 37A, it's a $500 exemption, and clause 41D is 42 people. So we can move to. So if we, and then we can talk about, I think we talked the HEROES Act, which is clause 22J. There is also the other clause, and again, this is coming from Mass General Laws, Division of Local Services. It's called clause 59, if I get this right, it's 59.5C1/2. And that would include the veterans, which we just spoke about, and the seniors that we have as exemptions, which would be clause 17E, 37A, 41D, and I believe it's there's also a clause 41A, which is just the deferment of paying the property tax until a later date, correct? So those numbers would double from the current 251, 500, and 1,000. So if clause 59 .5C1/2 were to be implemented, it would be the seniors clause, which we mentioned. That would be a total of $47,763, and the veterans, it would total 121 people, total $73,000. So that would be a total of 127,630. The other important note would be you can, as we only vote or approve one or the other. So you can't, since the veterans will be covered under 59C, and the seniors, that would be kind of like an umbrella clause. And then if you wanted to do just this, you were a little bit hesitant to roll everything in, you could just do the veterans, the HEROES Act. But I think, again, I'm just presenting the facts. It would be either 12763, which would be everybody,
That's the 59C.
right? 59C, 59.5C, 1/2, and again, that would cover 181 of our residents. And of course, next year, this will not go into effect until FY '27.
July 1.
July 1, 2026, which is FY '27. So, again, the information, I can't think of, let me see, is there anything else, Denise? Oh, okay, that's right. Yeah, so, important note is if tonight, or not tonight, but if you do vote tonight, if you do go in the affirmative for the veterans only, you cannot revisit the 59C.
What about vice versa?
I'm sorry?
What about vice versa?
Who?
If you do it the
What
other way.
about if we do, so happens the board does
everybody.
vote, the 59C, if we
Yeah,
do
yeah,
approve
that
that,
includes every,
we can take up the HEROES Act if we're so inclined.
well, the HEROES Act is really under the 59C.
Right, so what'll happen, if you choose the 59C, again, it's for everybody. From there, you can't add the veterans on top of that. You can only do one.
But the 59C incorporates the veterans.
Yes, it does, it does.
So doing the HEROES Act would be a duplicity.
Right, so yeah, legally, we can't do both. You can only do one of them. So
Yeah, you can't double dip.
You can't double dip, right. So it's either, if you do the 59C, that's everybody.
Yep.
The veterans, it's only for them. And like I said, if you go with the veterans, there won't be anything for the seniors in the future to get doubled if you go that way. Just something to think about. Maybe they'll come up with a new clause down the road, years away, I don't know, but that usually takes a few years. I just wanted to make that point in case somebody came like, well, how come the seniors aren't being doubled? They can only go under this clause, 59, 5C and a half is what they'll fall under.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Mr.
Can I ask a
Chair?
question? I did some other reading on it on my computer, and I thought it was stated that both programs could be available, but you could only get money for
Take
one.
advantage of one.
You couldn't double up on the program. So if we adopted both programs, it doesn't work that way.
You can't adopt both, you can only adopt one of them.
Okay.
Okay, I understand his question. We could have those available for residents and they can choose which one they
It
want.
says,
No.
No,
You
the
can't
state
do
doesn't.
that. You can only choose one clause out of it. The residents can't pick and choose which one they want. You guys can only choose one legally, and that's what the town will have to do.
Might make it easier because it's confusing at best.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mr. Chair, one question. So, Rick, just to clarify, the 5 individual clauses, the 2 veterans and the 3 other ones,
so,
they're all kind of umbrellaed under the 59, 5C and a half. It's all grouped
So-
together?
yes, so you have, the elderly is 17E, 41D. That's, as we have it now, it's age 70 or older as of July 1st of this tax year. The 41D, and now there's no, these programs, some are income eligible driven, some are income and asset, some are just asset. And then there's the 41D, and that is for single or married a couple that must own their home in town for at least 5 years. And they could, get that exemption amount of $1,000. The veterans, we talked about, that's clause 22 and 22E. Again, they're service-connected disabled, the 22. Again, they must have lived in their home in town for at least 1 year, and they would be eligible with a disability between 10 and 90%, $400 exemption. The 22E is 100% disabled, must have lived in home for a year in town, and it's $1,000, but they have to submit and apply annually. Others that could fall under it would be the legally blind, which is, there's no age limit. It's a certificate that comes from the state, the Commonwealth, and then it's administrated through us. There's others that, clauses 42, 43 is the surviving spouse of a minor child or of police officer or firefighter who's been killed in the line of duty. Thank God we don't have anyone on in that. 17E, surviving spouse of a minor child of a deceased parent. We do not have anyone enrolled in that. And again, clause 18, extreme hardship, and that's that has to be. It varies, but it's someone who really can't pay their bills or needs to apply for need. And then we talked about the 41A. There are a couple people that do that, and that's just deferring your property tax and paying off at a later date. I think there's pretty much it, Denise. Do you have questions?
So, Rick, real quick, those are existing exemptions that we.
Yeah, correct. So if you look at this page with the spreadsheet, it tells you the number of exemptions. I think that'd be 47 and 13. So you have really seniors, you have 60, and veterans, you have 121, which equals 181. So
What
by
page is he looking at? Am I on the wrong
moving
page?
forward or approving the 59
181 right here.
0.5C 1/2,
That's this
you
number.
would be increasing the exemption total of 73,000 because it's a double.
Yep, okay. That's clauses 22 and 22E.
That would be, you correct.
That would double,
Yep,
yeah.
yep, yep. That would double. That's the veterans. And again, clauses 17Es and 37A and 41D are ages 70 and over, except for 37A is legally blind.
Okay. And those are the existing. I'm looking for more the new information that we're talking about, that you're presenting, the 22 and 22E. What that's what's going to be affected with the 59C adoption.
Right, exactly.
Right, so if we went with the 59C, it would be a total of 120,000, whatever that number is.
763. Yep.
Yeah, 763. That would be the total additional money that would have to come out of the overlay.
And that's if everybody that is currently existing, taking advantage of the program, were to reapply this upcoming year.
Exactly. We'll send all the applications out. We have new people that will go out.
Could be more,
Whether
could be
any of
less.
them Fall into
Yeah.
the criteria, but it does fluctuate a little bit every year, not
Yeah,
a lot.
yeah, okay.
But there are, because of the criteria, so that's some of it.
So these are all, it has to be submitted by April 1st, and then by April 30th, it gets forwarded to DLS.
To take effect July 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we'll do in April, we have to send it into the state, and we get reimbursed for part of it. All of this, we will not get reimbursed for. For the HEROES Act, the state doesn't reimburse us.
yeah.
So we only get partial reimbursement for what we have right now. Oh, I'm sorry. So we only have partial reimbursement for what we have now, but for all the new ones, we won't get reimbursed. so it'll just be on the town.
Park,
The
you said-
41Ds are on the town anyway. We don't get reimbursed for those.
Okay. Can you run down, what do we get reimbursed
Sure.
for again?
Yep, it's right
please?
here on the sheet, on the Excel sheet. So for the 30, we don't get reimbursed
This one,
for, we do not get reimbursed for the 17Es. The 37A, which is the blind, we only get reimbursed $436 for the 5 of them. 41Ds, we do not get reimbursed. The clause 22, which is the veterans 400. Out of the 32,000, we get reimbursed 18,000. And clause 22E, out of the 41,000, we get reimbursed 33,325.
Would those reimbursements
That one there?
increase?
No, those will stay the same.
Those would stay, those are set numbers, it's not.
Yeah, those
a
are set numbers
percentage
on the current numbers, so anything going forward, if we double it, we don't get reimbursed on the double amount.
So of that 127.63, we'd be backing out that 18 and that 33, 3.25.
No,
No.
no, it would just be the 127.63. I just added it up, so that's the 127.63 is the amount for all the current clauses that we have on the first section.
Oh, okay, all right, I gotcha.
So, yeah, so you just go right down and it's 127.63. The clauses below that, like when you see the veterans 22D, we get 100% reimbursement for that.
Okay. So I'm kind of honing in on the clause 22 and 22E. If we, whichever one, if we adopt, or the town does at town meeting, if that exemption stays constant, same amount of people, and we're realizing $32,000 in rebates, so to speak, exemptions. That if that would have doubled 64,000, our reimbursement from the state would still be 18,000.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yes.
that wouldn't. What is that number based off of? How does that not increase?
It's
their
a
formula?
percentage of the ones that are already in there. It's a percentage of the 80 applications that we have in there.
Yeah.
They only give you a percentage of it.
Okay.
So what they're saying with this HEROES Act, they will not reimburse us for the HEROES Act.
Okay.
So it's on the town, the whole thing.
That's heroes, but 59C.
59C is the same thing. So if you're going to double everything, anything that you double is on the town. The state will not reimburse you for it.
The second double, the first double, you're gonna get, the existing reimbursements are gonna continue, but you're not gonna get any reimbursement.
additional.
From this 59C. which-
I gotcha. So that, if we double it and it is 64,000 that's realized in exemptions that people elect to take,
Right.
it's still going to be 18,000 of that 64 that's going to be reimbursed.
Exactly.
Okay.
Through you, Chair.
Yes.
I just want to clarify for either one of these, Clause 22 or Clause 59, Section 5C, 5C and a half. You're allowed to double it 100%, but you can also choose to select an amount in between
I was,
what we currently have in that 100% double, right?
I was gonna mention that.
Okay.
There is, an option.
It's a stepped
To,
percentage.
to phase it,
Yeah,
yeah.
well. I
Or,
think
or
you
step,
have-
or like slow steps.
So
Can't
if
do
you-
a step, I don't
So
believe.
if you picked like 50% this year for the first year, then you would have to come back and
And
then
vote again.
Right,
You know,
Yeah.
so you'd have to come back every year
Right.
to get up to wherever you want to be at.
Yeah. And so I also wanted to just mention, based on the numbers here, right, if we have about 1,300 seniors in the 65 to 70 group, which is about 1/3 of the total amount of seniors that you have in that first page. So if you were to extrapolate the 200 that we currently have in the program, or roughly 200, it'd be an additional 100 people if we were to decrease it to 65. So by my estimate, I think that'd be an extra $100,000 because they currently don't have any. Correct. Okay.
That's not
No.
accurate. I gotta speak to that.
Yeah, go ahead.
100% inaccurate. But I'll, when I get them,
Okay.
If you have 100 people
No.
times 1,000, Well, we don't. Well, no, she's just
We
asking
don't,
me.
we don't know how many, I'm just estimating based on the numbers, right?
So, Mr. Chair, just on the sheet, the reason why all of these other possible exemptions are not on the impact sheet, the dollar impact and the counts, like the legally blind, extreme hardship, is because we don't have anyone taking advantage of those currently? Is that why those aren't on that cover sheet?
So,
Correct, so we have we do have the blind, the 37A, those, we have 5 of those. That's been the same ever since.
Oh,
I've
I'm
been
sorry,
here.
yeah, 37A, that's what I
Right,
had,
but the
thank you.
18s, those are hardships. That's somebody that can apply, it's usually just like for 1 or 2 years, they have to apply every year. It's just
Okay.
short term. If they're really having a hard time paying their bills, whatever, they can apply to the Board of Assessors for a hardship case. And we'd have to gather all the information from them, and then the board would decide if they want to
Okay.
give them that for the year.
So there are only two that are missing, the 42, 43, and then 18.
Yeah.
And that's because we don't have any
We don't
of
have any, I
those.
haven't had any since I've started here in
Okay.
the 9 years, so,
Great, thank you.
but they are out there for people to utilize if they need them.
So, Mr. Chair, I just, artificial intelligence, right? We have real intelligence here, but I figured I'd do a little Google search. It appears that increasing these exemptions, regardless of which option, it doesn't directly impact the levy limit. So the burden gets shifted to the other taxpayers in town. So your overall tax revenue, the levy limit, isn't impacted. Is that correct?
Well, so what happens is so we have, the assessors have the overlay account. The overlay account is an account for all the abatements and exemptions, and extra money in there for the ATB in case, we have to do more for the abatements.
And let me, quick question. Is that overlay account over and above the 2.5% increase?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay, because
So
many
and
times
what
it
happens is we get budgeted a certain amount in that account every year to cover those. So right now, we don't have enough to cover for this year. That's why we're not doing it this year. So if you go with one of these clauses, then the town's just going to have to figure out where they're going to grab the money from, is what I should say. So it's just going to come from other areas of the budget.
You have to be clear on this, because I'm gonna tell you, if we brought this to town meeting right now, we get shot down. We're going down smoking real fast.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to figure out a way to simplify this a lot more than we are right now. Number one, your betterments of your overlay. Last year, I believe we put in $350,000 into the account.
That's correct.
Okay, so that money is part of our budget process. So that money goes into a betterment account, overlay account, separate. If we follow through on these here, we might have, I don't know, 50,000, 200,000, nobody seems to know. But instead of moving 300, next spring when we do our town meeting, instead of moving $350,000 into our overlay, we may have to put in 400,000 or 500,000 into the overlay.
That's correct.
By doing so, that cuts back on available revenues that we have for other things. That's the only way to clearly state it. It does not increase the taxes on all the rest of us.
Correct.
We're not paying for this.
Right.
What it's doing is cutting into our services, because it's taking that money and putting into an account. So someone could apply and say, I want a betterment, and they can get that money comes from that account. So we have to be clear on that. But just sitting here, I'm thinking, I can't picture this at town meeting. We're going to have to figure out a way to explain this process. If we're not going to do the HEROES Act, that takes out half the problem, I guess, and we just have to concentrate on the rest of it.
Yeah, whichever one you decide on, then we can figure out the best way to present it, if you decide on one of them.
So, Mr. Chair, other people go into Google this just like I did, and I came up with a couple different, very similar responses. But to Mr. Kimball's point, it's accurate that the levy limit is not impacted when you increase the exemptions. But we put money into the overlay account from our regular operating budget to pay for these exemptions. That's got to come from somewhere, right? So we're still going to collect the same amount of, real estate tax revenue, but our expenses are going to be higher. So it is going to shift from whoever qualifies for these exemptions to the rest of the population. But whatever the difference is, 120,000 or whatnot, it has to come out of a budget somewhere.
Or result in layoffs.
Is that a good statement, Bob?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's got to come from,
Oh, yeah, it's definitely it's paid by somebody,
right.
somehow.
So with that, continue with the questions. Lucas does want to, Lucas Ray wants to come in and just
Sure.
what points he wants to make.
All right. So after watching that, I'm confused, and I've been studying this for a couple weeks. So I really want to just simplify this. If we, as far as passing the HEROES Act and the 59C, I was just, we were just informed by the board, by Ms. Ellis, that you can't pass both. I haven't confirmed that with the DLS. I've been calling and emailing them all week. They don't answer the phone over there. So, it's my opinion that, we could even push off the HERO Act for a couple weeks until I get a response from the state in regards to the HEROES Act. As far as the 59C, we get, well, let's start with the retirement age, dropping the retirement age from 70 to 65. So we got, in Massachusetts, the retirement age is 67 years old. So 65, 66, and most 67-year-olds are still working. They're still making income. They're still, a lot of them, I don't feel, if they're living in Norton and they own a home, a lot of them are not going to qualify for the exemption to begin with because of the criteria for the income and the assets. Also, you got to take into consideration that some of those 65 to 69-year-olds are veterans. So they're already, I think Rick just said, like 100 of them are veterans, so they're already covered. So if you look at, the 70-plus crowd, you're talking 70 to, 100, whatever they survive till. They don't include Social Security payments, so anybody 70 plus, for the most part, they're retired, they're not making income, they're not bringing home a salary. So more of them, I feel, are going to qualify than somebody who's still working for a living, 65 to 67 years old. So, and if you look at the 70 plus crowd for the seniors, it's $47,763. That's 70 plus, whether they're 100, 105 years old, that's a 30-year gap. Now we're looking at dropping the age from 70 to 65. So now you got a 4-year gap, 65 to 69. So I'm not convinced that a 4-year gap with 3 of those years are people still working, most likely still working and won't even qualify to begin with, is going to cost more than the 70-plus crowd who's in a 30 to 35-year gap. So it's my opinion that I think dropping the age from 70 to 65, we may see $10,000, $20,000. I'd say it's going to be less than half of the $47,763 that we're currently paying for the 3 clauses at the top there for the seniors. And there's no way that's going to be $100,000, as Denise said. You're talking a 4-year gap with 3 years of those seniors are still working, and a lot of them aren't going to qualify. And some of them already get the exemption through the military. So that's where I stand on that. But
Okay.
the other thing to look at is on the age drop is there's 2,609 residents aged 70 to 90. So that's age 90. So, I know there's some seniors up to 100 years old in this town. So, that number is a little deflated. And there's 1,337 residents aged 65 to 69. So that's half the number. So, there's no way the exemptions are going to be double what the 70-plus crowd is getting. If you look at, let me just start here. So the one thing about the taxes effective in April is I was trying to get this onto fall town meeting, because when is Springtown meeting?
We have to set that.
So is it after
We don't
April?
set that. Yeah, we don't set
It'll
that
be
till.
May.
It'll be
Usually in May.
Yeah.
So, I understand that these taxes will go into effect July 1st on the new fiscal year, but, if we miss fall town meeting, are we then going to get, miss an entire year because we get pushed into spring, we miss Springtown meeting, and we can't enact it for 27? So that's why we were trying to get this on fall town meeting. And to be honest, Bob, I don't think, the majority of seniors that go to those town meetings are seniors anyways. And I'd be glad to speak to this, and I highly doubt all those seniors are going to vote against the veterans and the disabled seniors. So there's really not much of a sell there. You know, the town is going to vote this in.
I'm not concerned about the selling of it. I'm concerned about, you've been to town meetings probably as much as I have. When you start getting that gray area and those questions coming up, everything goes down in smoke fast.
So
That's
what
all
questions?
I'm saying. I'd just like to make sure we present this in a way that everyone can understand what we're trying to do. I'm not against this.
Yeah.
I want to understand how it works.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see it go down in smoke before April 1st. I believe someone said we had to have this adopted by April 1st. So if we don't do the fall town meeting, you're absolutely right. We're looking probably another year
Yeah.
before anything kicks into place. But I'm just a bit concerned about all the numbers and the 21, 22 this and 23 that and
Well, that's what I'm
Heroes
trying to
Act, and just we got to tone it down a bit. That's
So
all
I'm trying to simplify it here. The bottom line is if we approve the 59C, everybody gets a double exemption. So this graph that we did, not that one on the screen, I'm trying to find the spreadsheet that Miss Ellis did. It was kind of confusing, and even, Mike Massoni on our board was confused. He thought we were, going to cost us $500,000. But so the bottom line is we're already giving exemptions to seniors. We're already giving exemptions to veterans. So that's not going to change. Exemptions like the 22D for $117,000, that looks worse than it is because we get that back from the state. The other clause for 22E veterans that we currently give $41,000, we actually get $33,000 back. So that costs us about $18,000. I understand we don't get reimbursed for these new exemptions, but if you look at we're getting quite a bit of money back from the exemptions we already give. So whether you guys approve a HEROES Act or you guys approve 59C, we're still going to be giving these exemptions to seniors and to the veterans. So the bottom line is here, it's real simple. There should be one box. Okay, it's $120,000 is what it's going to cost us if we approve the 59C. We don't need to look at all these other boxes in the graph here. We just go with the one solid number is $120,763. And to be honest with you, this town just spent $50,000 doing a roof plan for the fire department. I could have done for free on a napkin at Honeydew. So there's a lot of waste that I've seen over the years, and $120,000 to help out the disabled seniors and the veterans is not a lot of ask on an $80 million budget. So that's where I stand.
Yes, sir.
I mean, we're up here handing out awards and stuff. I saw a great award you did a couple weeks ago, for Mr. Ribeiro. That was awesome. It's like, what better way to award these folks and to give them a financial relief? Most of them are living off Social Security, and the taxes go up every year. So, let's help these people out. And I don't think we should, when I found out that we can do all the seniors and the veterans together, I think that's great. So, if we have to push off the HEROES Act until I can confirm that there's no additional, benefits by approving both, or that you can't approve both, I'd like to hear that from the DLS. Because as of 2 days ago, our tax assessor was telling us it was a 4X exemption, which turned out not to be true. So I'd like to get my facts from the state. I'd like to get my facts from the DLS, from the state, whether or not we can approve the HEROES Act as well. But the one thing that did concern me with the limit of reduction, it says right here in the 59C, the additional exemption cannot reduce the tax bill to a point lower than what the taxpayer paid in a previous fiscal year. So if lightning strikes and our taxes don't go up 1 year, then that person is not going to get that exemption because his taxes cannot go lower than the previous fiscal year. With the HERO Act, they will automatically get that double exemption. Not that I expect that taxes are going to go down in town, but it is a stipulation here. And then the other thing, the HEROES Act gives 100%, it doubles these exemptions 100%. And And I understand the 59C, you can start anywhere from 0 to whatever to 100%. I don't think that's even a question that we make it 100%. That's what we're here for. So, you know, I understand Denise was making the questions about whether or not we can make it 10 or 50 or 30, 50%. No, we're here for 100%. This is what we owe these people. This is the people that, you know, bring up this town. This is the people that have built this town and the people who have served to this town. And $120,000 isn't a big ask, so.
Mr. Chairman,
Thank you, Lou.
the one thing I think we have to be clear on, and because I'm sure people sitting at home are sitting there thinking, well, we're gonna be get some kind of an exemption. There are guidelines. And we have to stress the fact that these guidelines are minimal to a major point. If you look at the maximum income of the elderly, a single person, the maximum income, and this is a person who's lived here for 5 years and owns their own home, $35,744. It's not a lot of money. I know what my taxes are. I'm sure their taxes are crazy. In addition to that, you can't have assets and income at a maximum of $58,667. That's not a lot of money in today's world. Occupied home for a married couple, $53,619, and married, $81,689 with maximum assets. So we're talking about a small group of people here. We're not talking about a large group of people. And to Lucas's point, you know, a lot of these people are already in the program. It's maybe the double whammy in some cases that we'll have to come up with. As long as we understand that the money has to come from somewhere, and it's going to be on the back of the next town meeting we have when we're trying to establish, and run this town through the schools and through the town and everything else. So the money has to come from somewhere. And once it's put in there as a betterment or put aside as part of that $350 we did this year, which will be more next year, it just cuts into what we have for available cash. That's all. But that doesn't mean that the people that are eligible for this probably should be getting some kind of slack, because that's not a lot of money. The income it's not a lot of money to deal with, so.
So one thing, Bob, I just like to, you know, reiterate that fact. So maximum assets for a single person is $58,000. Married couples, $81,000. Most of the seniors I know have already paid off their homes and have equity in their homes. So a lot of people don't qualify for that. I mean, $81,000 is not a lot of equity in your home, especially considering, you know, the boom we had in the housing market and valuations have been spiking. So, you know, it's unlikely a lot of these folks even qualify for this. I think Rick did the math a couple days ago at the meeting, and it was 0.02% of that population, that age, qualified in this town. That's what it was, 0.02%.
That's-
Yeah, 0.022%.
It's a small
It's a
group.
very minimal number. It's nowhere near the $100,000 projection Denise mentioned. And it's, you know, a lot of these folks got more than 80K in equity in their homes and they won't qualify to begin with. So
Can I just follow up with that? And maybe when you go back to the state, Lucas, you can validate that, because the way it's written, it says, must have owned an occupied home for 5 years. Anyone who has owned their home for 5 years has a lot more than $81,000 in equity.
Excuse me.
Yep, I'm sorry.
It doesn't include your home. Assets.
I was going to say it must exclude the home.
Do with the house at all.
Yeah, that's what was my next question. Thank you.
that's what
So
we
the
got that
assets
confirmed.
excludes the home.
I wasn't clear on that.
Thank you.
What were you gonna say, Denise?
Then I was just gonna point out that,
Go ahead.
in the bulletin that you have, on the, what is it here? The HEROES Act, second page, number 5. What Lucas is saying about the state, it's all written right here. This is from DLS. So that is what it is.
Thank you.
And I never said that they could get the 4,000. I always said it was one or the other because it was way too much. There's no way you could do both. And I knew that because the reason is if, you know, you're getting $4,000 an exemption, your taxes might not be $4,000. So you can't get more than what your taxes are.
It's
So
on
there's
record.
no,
We have it on
Okay.
tape. You
No,
said
we
you
don't.
will
No, we
get
don't. No,
4X.
Lucas, we
You will
don't.
get doubled twice.
I said if it was possible to do that, but it's not possible.
you said
So
it at the
anyway,
meeting.
but that's just what I want to make clear, that it is in here in the bulletin. It does describe what it is. So I don't think you really need to wait for him to talk to the state, because we already have it. And if you want it to go on to the fall town meeting, we have to get it in by the 28th of August.
Okay.
That's all I wanted to say.
Mr. Chairman, so even if we adopted the 501, whatever it is,
59C.
59C, if we agree tonight that that's probably a good play to go, Lucas comes back in 2 weeks and says, no, we're all wrong, and that we can also adopt the HEROES Act. It's just 2 steps. But I think this one's important. I think we need to take the first step now, so we can get this ball rolling before the town meeting comes up in October. It's coming fast. I don't know where August is going to. So I just think it's a good idea to get that done.
In by 3:30 on the 28th, so I don't,
Yeah.
I'll have the answers by then.
yeah, but,
Yes, sir.
We use quite a bit of it. Right now, I have a lot of ATB cases out there for a lot of the warehouses. So some of that money has been tied up for a while. And unfortunately, our lawyer just passed away unexpectedly. So I'm in the process of getting a new lawyer. Just spoke with them last week. So once we get to the ATB and we can get these warehouses straightened out, hopefully, if we win, then we'll have some money to release. But I don't know when that's going to happen, because everything just happened in the last few weeks where she passed away.
So speak English to us.
So
ATB.
so the appellate tax board.
Okay, so the appellate tax board, you're putting money aside because I got my taxes, and just so people understand how this works.
Yep.
I got my tax bill. I don't agree with it. I don't have 5 sheds in my backyard. I only have 1. I can appeal it.
Exactly.
And that's what this betterment overlay money is about.
Correct. We
It's-
have to keep.
I have to pay for it. Then I have to I have to challenge you to prove me wrong, and I can get my money back. But I have to pay it up front to begin with.
Exactly.
Then I get the betterment after that.
Yep.
I go back and I apply,
Yep.
make sure I'm qualified,
Yep.
and then I get the money back. So the money is, even though the taxpayer is paying it forward, they're gonna get the betterment back. And-
Right.
and reduce it.
Right. If everything works out, and so so I have to keep so much money in there, especially for commercial properties, because of the values.
Every year in the springtime, we're looking at the betterments, the overlay, saying, how much can we safely put in that? Can we reduce it so we can have more money for the budget? As an
Exactly.
example.
Exactly.
You know, and we do that every single year. We talk about it every year. My years on the finance committee 100 years ago, we were talking about the same stuff, saying to the assessors, can you give us a few more bucks?
Right.
You know, but you guys have to have that money in that account, because if you don't, you're in trouble.
Right. And if
You
we don't
have
have
to
that
have that
money in
money set
there,
aside.
and we come back and we lose, and there's not enough money, then we'd have to go to town meeting and ask for more money.
Right.
So we have to make sure we keep money in there. So there is money in there covering it, I hope. You never know what's going to happen, but hopefully there's enough money in there to cover everything that's there right now.
Yes, sir.
We never spend down the whole account. We always leave money in there. Sometimes we do release money back to the town. A couple of years ago, we did release some money back to the town. And I'm hoping once we get all these warehouses straightened out, that, because these are all the new warehouses. Once we get all these straightened out, then we'll start releasing money again. But that won't happen until these cases are finalized. And hopefully soon, hopefully this fall, I'm hoping for.
Yes, sir.
We don't know. We
We
don't know
don't,
what,
yeah.
what's going to happen. I don't.
Mr.
It'll be
Chair?
great if it is there.
I don't
hope
think
it
it'd be
is.
less than 350. That's not gonna happen.
No. Well, no, you would have to plan for more in that account, because when you look at the spreadsheet, where we're talking about the 500,000, I don't have it in front of me, but when you're looking at that spreadsheet that I gave you, that's why I put everything out there for the overlay. When you're looking at those bottom numbers, that's why all the exemptions are in there. It's showing you what we need in the overlay at that point. I think you'll see a middle column for like 400 and something.
406.
Right. So that would be the money that we need to cover everything at that point, just for the abatements and the exemptions. Really, that's just, I'm sorry, I take that back. That's just for the exemptions. Then we have the abatements on top of that.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
just another question, and you don't have the answer, I know you don't. You have to assume that there are a number of people that are taking advantage of the programs. They're aware of it, they're taking advantage of it, which is something we would encourage them to do. If they can get double off it, I hope that they get that too. But there are probably a number of people out there that may not be aware of some of these programs, and all this attention to it now is probably going to be a conversation, say, at the senior center where people are talking.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, we tell the senior centers,
Right.
Beth is aware of it. She lets people know about
Okay.
it. We try to let everybody know about it. It's on the website. I mean, if people can think of other places to post it, let me know. We'll post it. You know, we try to let everybody know.
What I'm trying to say is,
But yes,
it's
it
probably
could
going
add
to go
more
up.
to it. It could.
I don't think it's going to go down. It's probably going to go up.
It could go up.
Yeah.
But, you know, a lot of times we say that, you know, at these meetings, and then they still don't go up. So, I don't know.
Through you, Chair. Yep. Just want to say appreciate the presentation, the passion for the topic, and in an ideal world, I'd love to give everyone a tax break. But the realities are that 120,000 is probably 2+ jobs, and out of the last 3 years, we've had layoffs 2 out of those 3 years. So we can barely make it today with the current budget the way it is. And I'm not saying that I don't want this to move forward. My suggestion would be something less than the 100% increase, some smaller percentage.
I disagree. And to be honest with you, you know, we got $350,000 in the overlay for abatements. You know, like 90% of the abatements in this town get denied. And I'll speak to that, you know. They all got pushed through before I sat. So, and Mr. Kimball, if you need help with your abatement, I'll be sure to help you
I don't
out.
think I qualify.
Okay, yeah, I'm an expert at it. I've beat this woman 5 years in a row.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, sir.
So the 59 5C and a half, from what I hear, and it's good to repeat, if the town approved that, we can always go back later and ask the town to approve the HEROES Act on top of that, 5 years down the road if
Is
you
that
want
accurate?
to.
Well, let me talk to the state about that, and I want to confirm with the state that we can't approve both, so if I can get 2 weeks to do that. So if we delay the HEROES Act for 2 weeks, I'll get the state to confirm via email. If they say you approve 59C and you don't need the HEROES Act, I'll forward that to you guys, you just take it off the agenda. But if they say there is an additional benefit to approving the HEROES Act as well, then we readdress it. You know, I'd like to speak to the state. I don't take, you know, not for nothing, but I'm not taking the tax assessor's word for it, because there have been mistakes this week that we had to correct as of 3 o'clock this afternoon when you guys got the new information. We changed that spreadsheet because it did show a 4X for the veterans, and that was not accurate. And I was able to confirm that yesterday, and that was changed today. And that's also in our meetings, 2 of our meetings. So
Based
I
on
just
information
want to
we have
make
today,
sure we have the accurate information from the state before we vote on the HEROES Act.
even in the future.
Okay.
No, that's,
I
really?
think we should push off the HEROES Act for 2 weeks, vote on the 59C, and vote on the
59C.
age reduction, you know, and then
That's-
give me 2 weeks. What's 2 weeks? It's not going to hurt anybody. So, you know, and to be honest with you, I'm the one that brought up the HEROES Act and the dropping the age from 70 to 65. I didn't know what the 59C was until Mrs. Ellis added it to the meetings with my other 2 board members. So I'm on, you know, I'm on a crunch here trying to figure out exactly what the 59C is. So I would really like to see the HEROES Act delayed for 2 weeks, and let me get the information from the state. Let's vote on the other one, and if it ends up being, no use, then we throw it out. So no big deal. Nobody's hurt.
Through you, Chair. Certainly happy to wait for Lucas to get his confirmation in writing, but as we know today, just make sure that we're clear, if we pass 59C, we cannot pass the HEROES Act either today or in the future. It's one or the other, correct?
No, that's not accurate. It's
So-
the other way around. We cannot pass the HEROES Act and then come back for the 59C. So we can pass the 59C, but I would like to get information about the HEROES.
That is not my understanding, but we should get legal counsel's advice probably.
Well, we should get the state's
it's-
advice from the DLS, not
Dude.
Mrs. Ellis and counsel,
So-
because to be fair. So
Okay.
she has provided us with inaccurate information this week. So I'd
Well-
like to get the professionals at the Boston DLS to just give me the facts. It's simple. I can shoot an email to them.
Okay.
The only thing I would say, and again, it's not definitive, but there are other towns that have moved forward with both. I mean, not both, one or the other, 59C or 22J. And there's been no, as from what we see, I'm not 100% sure, but there's been no case of a 59C and a 22J.
That's what I'm stating, is that it's one or the other.
There's no, if you move forward with the 59C, and there's no, I don't want to use penalty, but there's no
Detrimental effect
correct,
to the veterans.
correct.
I'm not saying there's a detrimental effect to the veteran, I'm just saying that we can't then choose to, on top of that, approve the HEROES Act, either now or in the future. It's one or the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I do trust the experts.
yeah,
Well, the experts haven't spoken because they're in Boston at the DLS.
Okay.
We're all learning too. Me and Rick and Mike learned about a lot of this last week
so
too.
just, I think with the 59C, there's really no downside at all. And that probably will conclude that that decision is the right decision for the town. But again, I'm not telling you my opinion, but factual, it seems that would fall in.
I'm in agreement. I think
Yeah, if
we're
you're
in
looking
agreement
for,
of that.
yeah, if you're looking for comments, I'm all for expanding the exemptions for 65 to 70. Many people retire at 65 because of Social Security and Medicare. And also, I would like to expand it to a larger group of our elderly folks who may not be, and the ones that are taking advantage of it, increase the amount of the exemption from 1,000 to 2,000. I'm all for that. We would just, if we vote to support it and present it to town meeting, I mean, then you guys are going to have to do, proposal
your sleeves.
and selling it for the town
Yeah.
meeting. But also, I think it should run through the finance, and this is we're 2 years away, but it should run through the finance committee to understand. Let's say we just approve the 59C and not the HEROES Act. It's still about a $50,000 impact, plus whatever additional in that age group of 65 to 70 take advantage of it. So the finance committee would have to determine what the impact is on services, right?
So the 59.5C would be the 120,000 estimated.
Correct.
And then the 65 to 70 would be some amount over that. We're in disagreement about what that amount looks like, and that's fine. We don't know until we know. But I do know lots of people who are 65 who are retired already. So, yeah, I mean,
So now I'm confused though, because you got the veterans clauses 22 and 22E. Aren't those, isn't that the HEROES Act
That's the HEROES Act alone.
Yeah.
alone?
As a standalone.
Standalone.
Right, so, okay.
those are also
59C
part
is
of
encompassing.
59C.
So the 59C includes the veterans and the seniors.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you go approve the 59C, you're covering, or it includes the veterans, everyone, all those clauses.
And there's
we
no
mentioned earlier.
option to just do the elderly, the 17E,
Not as a
and
clause.
41D?
Not as a clause.
No?
No.
Okay.
Now,
Chair.
just to your point, there's roughly 2,609 residents over 70 and over. There's 1,337, 65 to 69. From the people 70 and over, it represents about 2% of the participants are enrolling. Now, if you take the 1,337, I mean, you don't know. It's an unknown. That's why I really don't want to go down there. It's.
I was just
it's an unknown.
extrapolating the same percentage, so
But if you use the same percentage,
it's about $100,000.
no, it won't. It won't be near that.
Okay.
It won't.
Not even close, it's half of that.
Okay.
Well, since we're all learning here together, can we confirm that you cannot approve Clause 59C
Approved.
without including the HEROES Act
So,
bundled with it?
so what you're doing, if you go forward and approve 59C, you are doubling the veterans 22 and 22E. So they are getting included with the times or the 100%
And there's no way to split
exempt.
those out, Rick.
Huh?
There's no way to split those out. They're bundled under 59C.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Well, but if I'm hearing this correctly, God, the 59 5C and a half
Yeah.
has the same guidelines as the HEROES Act. It's already in there.
This is
The same
What's going to
result.
happen is if we adopt both, it would double up on the two veterans
That's the one that scares me.
expenditures that we've already approved on the 59 5C and a
That's the one
half.
that scares me.
That's where the double factor comes in. That's where I read it somewhere where it said in the state,
This is
and I think it was DLS. I read it that you could not allow both to be used at the same time.
Correct.
So we shouldn't even be talking about the HEROES Act if it's already in 59 5C and a half.
Right.
Just leave it
Exactly.
alone.
Exactly.
Okay, now I get it.
Again,
Boy, it took a long time.
correct.
I would like to hear.
So,
from
Mr. Chair, just maybe some point of clarification from the board. So, we are up against some time where it's the end of the summer, and I don't know what your next meeting date is, but the warrant is due the 28th. Even if you had a meeting the 28th, it's past the due date. So I think we'd need to know tonight what you'd want to do if you want to do two placeholders for the HEROES Act and 59 5C and a half, which it seems like that, at least the 59 5C and a half, you seem to be on board about. The Finance Committee, to Mr. O'Neill's point, the Finance Committee will look at the warrant article anyways during their deliberations, so.
And they will provide their recommendation.
Correct.
Yep.
I think that's a perfect game plan moving forward. We do two placeholders. We can vote on
On both.
and the 59C and a half. And do we have to vote on the
Yeah,
HERO?
Yeah, so she knows.
yeah, we have to vote on both. And then, but even though we're voting, town meeting has to final approval. We can vote for whatever we want. We can
There's
vote
three-
to paint the walls pink if we want, but town meeting has to approve the final
Yeah.
decision. We're just putting a placeholder for the HEROES Act. I think the 59 5C and a half, we should take a position on. And as far as,
you could vote the age as well, how you want to handle that.
I was gonna say there's three of them that we're voting on, right?
Right,
So there's
so
the
we can do
59C, the HEROES Act, and the age reduction.
So why do we have to vote on the HEROES Act tonight? Why can't we just, we have select board meetings all the time where you guys don't hold a vote, you push it off, you delay the vote, you add it to the next meeting. Why do we have to vote on it tonight?
if we don't vote on it tonight, it will not be on the warrant for the fall town meeting.
That's fine. I'd rather not vote on it. And, personally, I'd rather not vote on it than have it shot down, because that seems,
Oh, it will never get there.
that's where we're
If
going.
it's not legal and it goes to town meeting, it goes to the finance committee, they're not gonna go any further with it anyway. It's gonna be dead.
But voting on it before I get the facts from the state doesn't make sense either, so.
Yeah, Luke, I agree with that. We could just leave it, and it could always be presented at Springtown meeting,
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
if we needed to. I think we take the position on take the vote on the 59C and a half and the age reduction.
It's voted, if the HERO Act get voted down, it's a lot harder for me to get this back in front of my board, to get this back in
So
front of
you
you
can-
guys, rather than just push it off.
And are you going to vote on the age reduction or?
Yeah.
hold on?
I mean, can we talk a bit about that?
Yeah.
So, and if you want to retire and get your full benefits, you have to be 67. So why are we going back to 65? Just curious.
State offers that. So a lot of towns have taken up this the age exemption drop from 70 to 65, and that's where I saw it. I think Tom just did it. A lot of towns have taken that up. So that's why I propose
Well,
that.
That's fine.
I do know a lot of people have retired earlier than that for health reasons or they get laid off.
Yeah, I
Well,
understand.
my father's 83 and he's not retired, so, it goes both ways.
Yes, sir. No.
Yeah,
Do the math on
yeah,
that.
I'm doing the math right now.
Rich is gonna do the math just to get a guesstimate on if we went based on those numbers.
Right. So you got,
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
divided
do we hear from the
by-
Veterans Agent,
I was just going to ask if she would,
what her comments might be about this?
she has any.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh, wait a second. Yeah, 37
She's
divided
gonna
by,
take the mic if you wanna take it back.
Got the hot lights going, so.
so, oh, sorry. So with the addition of people ages 65 through 69, it's 1,337 people.
Right.
So the enrollment would be roughly 33% of the 3,946. But if you think about the percentage of the 70 and above, which is 2,609, there's only 60 participants, that's like 2%. So if you took the 1,337, you did 2% would be, would only be 26 people.
26 people.
26 people, 27 people. But that, again, it's not definitive. It's an unknown.
Right.
But it's something you could consider. Still?
Estelle Flett, Norton Veterans Officer. I understand the hesitation, and I think that's why, along with the previous town manager, our accountant, and the assessor's office, we had waited to this point because of the new town hall, the council on aging, and the need for money in town. But I'd hate to see it delay. I think the idea to increase for the veterans because the HEROES Act came up is great, but I also agree that our seniors, if we're going to do it, I'd like to see them included as well. I'm not sure. I understand you want to verify with DLS about, whether or not you can later come back with and do the HEROES Act. I don't think that is the case based on what's happening in other towns. So to this point, I did do some work gathering information, seeing what towns did it and who didn't and why. It really comes down to money and budget. I think I'd stand fast for the veterans. That's who I represent every day. But I also know the seniors. So I don't know. It's a tough decision. I don't want to see them miss the opportunity for another year. So I would say, vote tonight on the 49C. I think that is the best avenue to go. I hate to point out, but I am, because I want it to be in fairness. With the HEROES Act, I do know you get to choose on increments of money. So whether you totally double it, like you mentioned, Denise, or you do 50% now, 50% later, or some combination, I think you, from the sounds of 59C, you lose that opportunity. So I'm going to put the hard decision back on you.
I think my understanding with 59C, you could also do the same thing.
Oh, 59C will do it as well? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So then,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a hard decision. I know money is tight, and I don't want to see layoffs, whether, wherever they might occur within the town. But I think making, having a vote tonight just so it moves forward and then can be looked at further by the Finance Committee. That would be my recommendation.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Chair, sorry to continue this, I know it's getting late, but did it sound to me it's the wish of the Board of Assessors to, whether it's approved in October or May, it's still going to take effect the same time? Because you have to have, it has to be voted on before July 1st, is that what you
Correct.
said?
It goes in effect July 1st, 2027.
You have to have a decision by April 1st. I heard someone.
No,
No?
no.
What was the April 1st date? I heard?
April 1st was the applications or,
Oh, okay. To apply for the exemption.
Yeah.
right.
And it doesn't have to be approved before you apply? Like if April 1st, you'll have to have your application in, but it won't be approved yet if you wait until the Springtown meeting.
No, so the application process, this is going to cover someone who applies March 30th to these 59C or.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Internal
so-
resident
Yeah,
applications.
Yeah,
I see.
exactly. So
Sorry.
the application has to be submitted by April 1st, but we're addressing tonight the
Understood.
clauses that would maybe allow someone else to participate
Understood.
in it.
I thought you meant application to the state.
No.
Okay, that makes sense. So regardless of whether it's approved in October or at the Maytown meeting, it's still going to take effect at the same time. So is it the wish of of your board to not present it to the October town meeting? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, we'd like to move forward.
Because Lucas mentioned something different, that he wanted to get the facts before we,
No, that,
The Heroes Act.
just the Heroes Act.
just the Heroes Act.
I'd
So,
like to present the 59C
C.
and the age drop at the fall town meeting.
Okay,
so the
Okay.
59C is a benefit for Clause 22 and Clause 22E, which is the disabled veterans, the veterans.
okay. But you also need lead time, I would imagine, to communicate this out to the community, present to the finance committee, gain approval, do the promotional activities in order to get it approved. I'm sorry?
I don't need much time.
All righty.
Yes, sir?
Through you, Chair.
Yes.
Roger, can I ask for clarification? Are you saying at 100%? No.
No, I think. Excellent.
So, Mr. Chair, I'd like to propose reducing that to 50%.
Okay. Does anyone want to second Roger's proposal?
The way it's worded, we're not adopting it. It still has to go through the approval process. So are we recommending it to the town meeting?
Recommending the town meeting.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is
but
that- is that
you
how?
should- It's General Law, Chapter 59, subsection 5C and a half. Just for the record. Okay.
How do we handle those two requests?
I think there was a motion on the floor by Mr. Masson, and I think you have to take action on that. And then you go to Denise's motion after that.
Okay. Do we have a second for
Second.
Rogers? Okay. Kevin?
Yes.
Denise?
No.
Bob?
Yes.
Roger? Yes. And I am a yes.
Awesome.
Good, Jen?
Now you can
Okay.
make a motion.
Now we do.
No, I already did it 100%. That's what you just
We don't-
approved.
we don't
just
take it
table.
Denise's?
I think you already made a,
100%.
you made the motion at 100%.
No, you can go.
So now we're looking for a motion for the age reduction, correct? Yes, sir?
Second.
Kevin?
Yes.
Denise?
No.
Bob?
Yes.
Roger? Yes. And I am a yes as well. Okay, got that, Jen?
And no.
Okay, we're not taking up the HEROES Act. Okay. Fair enough.
All right.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks. Have a good night.
Yep. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Denise.
Thank you.
Okay. Next up, we have discussion on the Municipal Modernization Act. Chief, take it away.
I believe this was a question regarding signing of the warrants by the Select Board. So this act went into effect in 2016. It was voted on by the Select Board some time ago to have that one designated person sign the warrants. What we kind of clarified is that the warrants will be distributed along with the payroll to the entire Select Board. They'll have a time to review it, and they'll notify the chair if there's any questions or comments, and the chair will still sign off.
Okay.
Chairman,
That
I'm the one that's been making the noise about this. I really do appreciate the effort of the town accountant to send that information out so that we all can see what's being spent. You know, along the way, you may run into something and say, what's that about? Why are we spending a gazillion dollars for this? And it just gives you a chance to take a look at it. We are all responsible, even though one person is designated, but I appreciate the effort to compromise and get me off your back, so I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Next, review, discuss, and vote to accept MGL Chapter 138, Section 12D.
So, Mr. Chair, we did receive a notice from the Alcohol Beverage Control Commission, an advisory regarding wines and malt beverages to trade in their licenses for an all-alcoholic license. There's a notice in your packet. I submit it to you just to review. It might be something that you want to do at some point in time. We would have to put it on the town meeting because it would have to be adopted. Basically, it would allow wine and malt license holders to trade in their license for a non-transferable MGL 138 Section 12 all alcoholic beverage license. Local boards must accept the new law by allowing Mass General Law 138 Section 12 wines and malts holders to trade in their license. And they also must notify the ABCC of the change. This just came out recently, so I don't expect you to vote on anything tonight, but it might be something that comes up in the very near future.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
it's rather confusing because we have done this in the past. We've had liquor stores that could only sell beer and wine. Quick Stop, as an example. They came back, turned in their malt and wine, and we had an available all alcohol license available, which, by the way, is very rare. You don't get those back too often. So something we've been doing anyway, but I guess there's another way to do it now. So we should probably talk about
It
it.
looks as though this is the state telling us we have to, if requested.
I think as I'm understanding, this is on premises, right? So not sales. So this is, if there's a facility that you can currently go to and drink only beer and wine, they can trade that license up for an all liquor.
Yeah.
Do we have a limit on how many of those we can have?
No, I believe there is no limit, to be honest
Okay.
with you.
I mean, I think I'm supportive of it, but yeah, they have to be in a town meeting. So I guess we have to vote on it before August 28th to get it in the town meeting this time, or just wait till the spring?
I recommend we wait, take it under advisement,
Okay.
read about it, find down exactly the details of it, and take it up at a later date.
Okay.
Anybody else? Yes, sir.
Through you, Chair.
Yes.
Jen, do you know how many licenses we have today that are just wine and beer?
So I'm looking at the quota for on-premise, and we're allowed to have, it looks like, up to 5 and it's saying we have 3 total issued.
Okay, so we're talking about just 3 that could be converted to all liquor. Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
So, Mr. Chair, am I understanding this right, where a brand-new applicant can ask for an all-alcohol beverage license on premise and perhaps get priority over somebody who already has a wine and malt beverage license who wants to upgrade it?
It possibly could happen.
As I'm reading this is just saying if we accept the Mass General Law, if somebody who currently already has a wine and beer on premises license can simply convert it to an all liquor license.
Yeah.
That's what this is saying.
Yeah, but if we don't
I
approve
don't think
this,
it gives any priority to anybody.
well,
I
I'm
think-
saying if we don't approve this, if we're not following this, and that means somebody can come off the street and get the all alcohol beverage license first.
They have to request it through us.
No, I know that, but it gives
You
them.
still have to go through ABCC and the whole.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is somebody who has an existing wine and malt beverage license cannot come before us if we don't adopt this.
They can come before us today if they want to convert it to a,
What you're saying in the meantime, in the meantime, till we do it, if we put it off till spring and 2 people
Coming
come
off
in
the
and ask
street, we
for-
don't even know, and somebody else who wants to
Yeah, and
upgrade
we have
theirs can't
existing
because they
businesses
can't
in
even come
town
before
that
us.
have to
Right,
wait.
Right.
but we have no limit on how many all alcohols, correct, for on premises?
There is a limit.
Oh.
Yes. There's a 20
Okay, how
allowed
many,
for alcohol.
20 left.
We're allowed total right now with the way things are. We have 20 for all alcohol on premise consumption.
And how many are available?
None.
None. Okay.
So through you, Chair, can I?
Yeah, of
My
course, keep going.
understanding is that if we have, say, 5 licenses allowed with on-premise wine and malt, that those people would be able to upgrade to an all-alcohol. Is my
So
understanding.
essentially, it will be added to the current.
That's my understanding
count.
of it. It seems like we're still within that quota number, and they can upgrade it, but we don't have like an endless amount of them. So we couldn't have like 10 people come in and want an all-alcohol that didn't already have a wine and malt. If
Gotcha.
that makes sense.
Okay.
It's as clear as mud.
All right. Well,
Okay.
I'm not looking to open a business, so
Moving on. Okay. Next item, discussion and a vote on allocation of aqueous film forming foam, AFFF, products liability litigation awarded settlement funds.
Mr. Chair, so we received a settlement. There was a class action suit. We received a settlement of roughly, I believe, around $49,000, $49,884.72. So the question is what to do with this money. So there's 2 forms in talking to the town accountant that we can do. We can put that money when we receive it into the general fund, and it will become, it will close out next year to free cash, and then it becomes eligible for, all town government. The second is and what the town accountant would recommend, is to create a reserve account to put that money into. We'd have to do it for town meeting, and then you spend out of that account for any remediation for PFAS. We're going to get roughly up to $250,000, it appears, over the next couple of years. So there is no necessarily remediation plan right now, but that's what the town accountant believes we should do. So we would need a vote from the board to do that, to put it on a town meeting warrant article,
Okay,
to
so,
create the account.
so Chief, to be clear, this is stemming from PFAS.
Yes.
Okay. And a recommendation would be to put it in a designated account for PFAS mitigation in the future. Okay.
For future
Separate
use.
reserve account.
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman. Chief, so the $250,000, once it's all in the account, does it have to be used for remediation, or could we use that money to, I know Mr. Rich has talked about possibility of talking to one of our neighbors about maybe buying some water somewhere else. Could that be used for that? purposes?
You'd have to come before town meeting to appropriate the money.
Right, but it could be
That's in
used.
the account, so there'd have to be a specific purpose, what you're gonna use that money for, that $250,000 that town meeting would approve.
Yeah, so I understand that the options are either put it in the reserve account for PFAS, or you can put it in the general fund,
Right.
where then you could use it for that.
Use it for anything.
Yeah, right.
And the custodian of the account would be us, not the water and sewer department?
That would be correct.
Okay. Thank you.
So it could be used for engineering. We have some, as we all know, we have some big PFAS issues. We're staring.
In the world, yes.
Yeah. So, my inclination would be to put it in account designated for that, so we can allocate it as needed for engineering, whatever needs to be done. That's my,
agree.
that's what I think.
So, Mr.
Yes, sir.
Second.
Okay. Motion in a second. Kevin?
Yes.
Denise?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Roger? And I am a yes as well. Unanimous, Jen. Okay, thank you, Chief. Next item, vote to declare NEMA's 2001 GMC Sierra 2500 HD regular cab long bed pickup truck as surplus.
This vehicle has over 95,000 miles and is hit end of life, where the cost to repair it outweigh the cost to get a new vehicle, which I believe it's already been purchased.
Chairman, I make a motion that we surplus vehicle, NEMA pickup truck, 2001 GMS Sierra 2500 HD.
Second.
Kevin?
Yes.
Denise?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Roger? Yes. And I am a yes. Unanimous again, Jen. Okay, next up, review, discuss, and/or vote to accept the grant awarded to the Norton Council on Aging in the amount of $9,070 from Bristol Aging and Wellness, Inc. to be used towards its Fitness First program. From? Fitness First program.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we accept, I guess, the award from Bristol Aging and Wellness to be used on behalf of the Fitness First program at the Council on Aging, I guess. Yeah. Council on
second.
Aging.
Kevin?
Yes.
Denise?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Roger? And I am a yes as well. Thank you. Okay, next up, we have vote to close Library Square for 2025 Festival of Lights scheduled for Sunday, December 7th, 2025.
Chairman, I make a motion that we close Library Square for Festival of Lights to be held on Sunday, December 7th, 2025, from 5 to 6:30 p.m. on the Town Common.
Second.
Got it, Jen? Okay.
Yes.
Denise?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Roger? And I am a yes as well. Thank you. Okay, next up, Host Community Agreement Municipal Equity, HCME policy.
Okay, Mr. Chair. So on August 1st, we received a notice from the Cannabis Control Commission that we had an outstanding host community municipal equity submission. Basically, the board has to develop or come up with a policy regarding how they score and a rubrics on how they score new cannabis businesses in town. I am working with KP Law on putting this together, and I've sent you a first review that you'll have to take a look at and schedule for probably your next meeting to approve. And then upon approval, after you review it, we'll have to send it into the Cannabis Control Commission so that we are up to date.
Okay, so we're just, that's
There's
ongoing.
no action.
No
we
action.
should take tonight.
Okay, thank you, Chief. Other business, topics not reasonably anticipated 48 hours in advance. Anything?
No.
Nope. Okay, old business, discussion on opioid settlement funds.
So, Mr. Chair, so this came up from an article that was in the Sun Chronicle not too long ago, probably June 28th, and on the use of opioid funds. I'll try to be brief, but in 2015, the town of Norton was ranked 26 per capita for overdoses, and it really got our attention. We started a problem-oriented policing team. 2016, we started the Norton Opioid Prevention and Education Collaborative, where the mission is to utilize multidisciplinary approach with community members and leaders to strategically plan for prevention, awareness, and education programs. In 2017, we started the co-responder model one time a month. 2021, we started a weekly hours with a co-responder clinician, a mental health clinician. The program has really been incredible and been well received. I was talking earlier that I can't imagine working without a clinician in these days. I do what's called a problem-oriented policing and anti-crime report yearly that we put out on our website. So to date, we have received, as part of a settlement fund, $546,066.96, and we've spent $203,212.39, roughly 38% of what we have. These monies can be used for prevention, harm reduction, treatment, and recovery support. So some of the things we've spent them on are cardiac monitors, CPR machines, Narcan, family resource kits, so that if we go to if we or the fire department go to an overdose, we can leave kits behind with resources and Narcan. We've also used them for some clinician services from the Community Counseling Center of Bristol County. I think right now there's, when you look at this this article, there's been a lot that's been talked about recently about people not using this money. I think we've been using it. I don't think it's something that we should just spend it all just to say we spent it. When I mentioned that, I can't imagine working well at a clinician. I am fearful, I guess, that at some point in time, the DMH grant we have might get pulled out, and we would want to pay for clinician services out of something like this. The clinicians not only benefit the police department, they benefit all town residents, they benefit the school system, the veterans, the human services. So it's definitely a big benefit for the town. There has been talk about our DMH grant getting reduced, and if it got reduced, we could use some opioid funds to assist that. So that's kind of the overview that I just wanted to give quickly. Our overdoses, back in the high point was around 2016. We had a total of 32 overdoses, 26 non-fatal, 6 fatal. Last year we had 0 fatal, 2 non-fatal and no fatal. So our overdoses have dropped, dramatically. We've had a few overdoses this year, a total of 3 non-fatal. We have had a couple fatal. But where we were in 2016 at our high point is dramatically lower. So I don't know if there's any specific questions I can potentially answer.
Chief, could you, the clinician services, to me, that's what this money should be used for anyway. It should be used, I know we shouldn't use money to hire people, but it is important that the money be used for us to get somebody outreach kind of programs where that conversation can be had with other people, or they know there's someone they can go to if they need help, that kind of stuff. So I agree with you. I don't think we have to spend every penny of it right away, but it would be nice to continue working with any kind of outreach program where they're actually out there talking to these kids, young adults, old adults, whoever's having the problem, just to make sure money's being spent wisely. But
we also run a program, Officer Robichaud runs a program called Project Alert in the middle school for 6th and 7th graders. And we do use some overtime funds out of that grant. So right now there's a lot of money that's being pushed at opioids. Probably a little late to the game, to be honest with you. We could have used it much more 5 years ago. But I know we're doing the best we can, I think, to try to help out the situation. So,
Okay. Yes, sir.
yes, this is we'll receive funds for a number of years. It's a dwindling amount. We started off with a high point, and I don't have that with me tonight, but I can find it and send it out to you on what we're going to be receiving over the next number of years.
He's like 19 more years.
Yeah.
18 more years.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree completely. Yep, nice job with it all. And nice job in the article too, when you interviewed back in May. You stood out as being one of the leaders in the in the area communities, I believe. Does this also include the person, the counselor who rides and goes on calls with your police officers?
Yeah, so that's our co-responder model and our mental health clinician that does that. And it's been, I mean, it's been just, from the first day, it's been really well received. And it's, like I said, I can't imagine us working without it. When we first brought it into the police department, of course, there's some naysayers and how's this going to work, but we've had great clinicians. One of them became a supervisor. Our first one became a supervisor, so she's not with us as much anymore, but to be even call on off hours and them assist, it's been really, really good. And I think that's one of the reasons that we have a much lower rate of overdoses now.
100%.
Do you feel, Chief, also that having her on these ride-alongs is helping to kind of like teach and train and counsel your officers on how to deal with situations if they're alone, for example?
Oh, absolutely.
That expertise kind of rubs off on the force.
Yeah,
That's good.
absolutely.
Thank you.
I know this was something we started years ago. The board started years ago. And it took a long time for the money to get to the towns, actually, but I guess the discouraging part of it was how the attorneys made more money than we did when it was all said and done.
It's standard operating procedure. Okay. Any other discussion, comments? No?
Nope.
Okay, town manager's report.
All right, Mr. Chair and board members. So I sent you some sample policies that Mrs. Reed put together for the town hall building use for the town hall and the senior community center. We're starting to get a lot of requests, from some private organizations, some recreation organizations, associations, and we have no mechanism to do this right now. And I'll just give you an example that one of the associations wanted to use the room at 8 o'clock at night outside of business hours. We don't have the ability to give somebody a key fob to come in and who's going to sign off and what exactly you're going to want to do. So we sent you a couple of samples maybe to work through and see what you'd like to do. Obviously for town boards and committees, they can use it any time because of their business. But, there's some private organizations that want to use it, and it's something we just need to have some type of written protocol and mechanism in place.
Chairman.
Even the media center has something where people, who want to use it can go in, basically sign up, and then they have a key code there, which makes it maybe a little bit easier. So, I know that another question is going to be, do we charge a fee or not? That would be up to you guys, for you to figure out if that's what you want to do. May not be necessary, but on the one thing I did want to mention in particular on our custodial contracts, we have an option for the community center, the Nelson Community Center, to have a custodian there for off hours for private meeting uses. And then we can outline a fee for that if you wanted to. So, but I wanted to start to get your attention on it. We did, people that did ask to use it, we did have to cancel them. We don't want it to get in the way of any of our boards and committees, if they want to use it. So,
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
Just a couple of thoughts on it. First of all, I think anybody should be able to use any of these buildings anytime they want to, that are, obviously that are authorized to do so. I'm on the permanent building committee. I'm wondering if I should go back to the committee and discuss the possibility of putting a keypad out there so that on both buildings, one door, where if the town manager if they come to the town manager and say, I want to use this, we can determine whether or not we charge a fee or not, who has to be there, if anyone or not, and maybe have a punch code designated for that one time only, where the person can get entrance to the building, use it for whatever purpose that was approved, and then it expires. So they can't do it. But I can check into that
Okay.
and see if there's maybe something, one particular door we could use for that purpose, and I'll check with them to see if that's possible.
Bob, another thought would be, which may be another affordable option, is instead of a keypad, if we do charge a stipend or some amount, give a stipend to someone to be like the door person, right? Come in and unlock the doors for them and lock it up after they're done. Give them some stipend for each instance or something like that, and charge the organizations.
I'm thinking like the Friends of the Senior Center.
Yeah.
It could be a way where one of them could come in at night, stay there for a couple of hours, and the seniors get a few bucks,
Yeah.
for that purpose. Maybe we should create a Friends of the Town Hall. I don't know.
We have the senior work-off program as
Right,
well.
but even a Friends group in the Town Hall where somebody could make a few extra dollars and we could charge.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about municipal meetings. I'm talking about, if some organization wants to come in and use the facility for, if another town agency wants to come in and set up this room and have a conference on, I don't know, police work or something, they can use it. Restrict them to so they can't get into anything else.
Yeah.
But maybe come up with some ideas, but we can talk more about that.
Yeah, we have to figure out scheduling and that kind of stuff. But I would like to open it up.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chair, you do have that in your email. You do have a working template that Mrs. Reed put together that you can, edit at your own.
Yeah, I think
Carol.
I think we're not voting on it today. Roger, just clarification. We're going to take the draft that Jen started, and we'll discuss it in more detail at the next meeting, probably.
And
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, so I was involved when I was on the school committee with doing this, revising the use of fields and use of facility agreement for anyone. So there are multiple tier, and I would recommend first of all that we kind of wait until Mark is in his position. He's the one who's going to have to execute it and follow this policy. I'm sure Chief has got enough to do over the next couple of weeks, but. There are multiple tiers. So if it's 100% Norton organization and there's no additional operating costs involved with the request, then it's completely free, right? Because Norton's already paying, residents are already paying the taxes for the building, so we don't want to charge them a user fee to use their building. But then, 50%. For example, the fields, on the weekends, I think there's an entire regional soccer club that uses the fields all day Sunday. I think maybe 10% are Norton residents, so they pay the full amount, right? So there are multiple ways to structure it. The school department probably has a really good one that we can reference, when Mark's in place, and sit down with the school superintendent, kind of review it and get some ideas from that as well. We want to be careful about charging Norton residents to use their own buildings, unless there is overhead and operating costs involved with it, so.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not saying a moneymaker, but just
Yeah, to cover it, break even.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
To cover someone being here while the function is happening.
Yes, yes.
So, Mr. O'Neill, your offer is accepted. You can be one of the
I can be one of them.
one of the
absolutely.
designees.
Yeah,
You have the background. You've done it.
Yeah.
And it all makes sense.
Yeah, I'd love to, absolutely.
Outside,
Absolutely, Roger.
outside of the keypads, we do have the key fobs. We could probably program them for each individual room, as long as somebody comes in, signs it out, then returns it and stuff like that. So.
Another idea. All right.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's review the
We'll review the
draft.
policy. Yeah, Jen, there you go.
right. Okay. Thank you, Chief. Rail Trail.
Real briefly, last week we did a walkthrough with Mass DOT and 20 of their closest friends, with Mr. Masson and Mrs. Arena back here in the back row. The rail trail is beautiful. It's getting a ton of use. It's really incredible the amount of use it gets. A couple things that came up that really minor stuff that Mass DOT is going to handle, but I did want to mention a couple things. The garbage is a major issue. We kind of had some discussion about, when it's turned over, probably in the end of September, that, there might be some discussion about taking the trash barrel out and making it like a state park where you carry in, carry out. It would be overwhelming for highway to have to handle that on a weekly basis. We did talk, Mansfield plows their end. It's not going to be cost effective for us to plow it during the winter. There was a question about stop signs in particular out here on 123. Mass DOT is not going to put them up, but the town of Norton may want to consider putting up a couple stop signs so that people don't go through and they know to stop. We did have somebody hit on the bike a week or so ago. They weren't seriously injured or anything, but it would be good just to have that pronounced stop sign. And we have got some parking complaints on Draper Street, and the highway superintendent's going to put up some no parking signs along there. It's not like one or two cars. It's like 14 to 20 cars that are parked there.
Well, that many?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I will say I drive by and I see people using it, and it
Yeah.
looks.
It's always busy.
Yeah, it's always busy.
You want to say something, Kim? Come on up.
Mrs. Arena is a member of the Friends of the Rail Trail. So.
Kim Arena, 8 Fordham Drive. Yes, the Friends of the Rail Trail are looking to help with signage, and I'm going to meet with, we have contacted some people that have offered to do signage at cost. So I need to coordinate with Jared. They're going to do the design and materials at cost, but I want to coordinate with Jared what his cost would be, or the town's cost would be, do a comparison. But that's something that the Friends want to do, is take on things like that and any other types of support. We're exploring the idea of maybe getting sponsorship for sections of the trail, like for landscaping or things like that. It's just thoughts, but we're obviously want to work with the board and come up with anything. But definitely the signage and something like that.
Wonderful.
So that's all.
Thank
That's
you, Kim.
great. Thank you, Kim. So, Chief, I started a habit, which may not be a good habit. Anytime I go down Plain Street or 123 or even up and down North Washington Street, I always slow down and pause at the cross areas.
Yeah.
On 123 the other day, I slowed down, saw somebody coming right there, basically getting ready to cross. So I stopped for them, right? Didn't wait for them to push the crosswalk. And then I had to stop them because the cars coming from the other direction weren't stopping because the light wasn't flashing. And I said, am I creating a potential safety hazard by stopping before he pushes the button? So it was kind of like conflicted because it's got to go both ways. Both directions have to stop. Otherwise, it's a dangerous situation. So as a police chief, I just figured maybe the signage, Kim, is, at the crosswalks, reminding folks, press the button and wait, might be the solution.
It blows my mind.
I've
seen people just drive right across 123. You can stand it. I'm talking bicyclists or pedestrians.
Same side of the token. I've seen people not even, adjust their gait,
Yeah.
walking, thinking they own that road, without pushing anything, and thinking the cars are going to stop. There's only so much you can do.
Flashing signs, saying press
Yep, flashing neon strobe, and they're not gonna.
But if we do make the attempt, maybe, 5 out of 10, we'll
Yeah.
actually make the start.
Yeah.
I ride a lot of trails around, that bikes.
Not anymore. Okay, so select boards.
Mr. Chair, Roger spoke because he couldn't hear Kim.
Oh,
Yep, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
no, no, it's over. There wasn't much. Kim was just mentioning how people don't stop both ways, walking and whatnot on the trail. They don't push the button.
Before we became all these electronic things we have today, the original design, when we were talking about that way back, was an S formation where you had to get off your bike, walk in an S, then cross the road walking to the other side to another S. And that didn't happen. And you already seen the results of it. We've already had somebody hit. I had someone come out and same thing as Kevin. I anticipated someone was going to come out of that side street, and they went through there 10 miles and 15 miles per hour. And I was already slowing down, I had a feeling like somebody was going to do it, I guess. But there's going to be a lot of that, unfortunately. Stop signs may work.
Okay.
All right.
Ron White can't fix it.
Perfectly said. Okay. Select boards report and mail. Who wants to present?
Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve invoice warrant AP 26-05 dated July.
You jumped ahead.
Maybe we can postpone that till the next meeting.
Yeah,
if we
let's do
yeah.
that.
So, that,
Oh, yeah.
the gentleman, the high school
Yeah.
Yeah.
kid, yeah,
Yeah.
he's coming to, we're gonna skip over that, because he's gonna be
I thought he
available.
was, that's why I thought you skipped.
He's not available tonight. I do have one quick announcement. We were going to, we tentatively have scheduled September 4th. It's a night that we don't have a meeting and greet for the new town manager. I guess it's 6 o'clock-ish.
Okay.
That good for everybody, if we pencil that in? September 4th at 6 o'clock. Yep.
Is that a meeting or a meet and greet?
Nope, just a meet and greet for the new town manager.
Okay.
Yep. For everybody. Everybody. Yep, open.
Bring your grill, Roger.
We're getting to that, Peter.
So, Mr. Chair, just to be cautious and safe, let's post that meeting, even though it's not going to be a official meeting of the board. That's what I was advised when I went to one of the MMA sessions, is when you're having a group activity where you're going to have a quorum, you're not there to talk about any business, and we're not going to. But just to be safe, it's always good to post it as a meeting. But it's up to the
not
board.
gonna hurt
I
anything.
don't know, Bob probably has more.
It takes Jen 5 minutes to do that. No problem.
One line
Do you
meet,
mind, Jen?
meet and greet.
That's it.
Okay. No, the other, Denise, I saw it. You reminded me with an email earlier, and I just saw the email about the repair fair.
Oh, yeah.
I forget all about that.
Yeah.
I think if we could, I think it's a great idea as well.
Yeah.
And I think, per your email, if we asked Jen to reach out to John. Did you see that email?
Yes.
Can we initiate that
Yes.
with John? See if we can set that up. He offered to help set it up.
Me offer help set it up. I can coordinate with John, yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you, Jen.
Well,
And thank you for the reminder, Denise.
No problem.
Okay. Anybody else? Anything else? No? Okay. Warrants?
So now you want me to do it.
Yes, Mr. Clerk.
Make a motion to approve the warrant invoice warrant AP 26-05 dated July 31st, 2025. You want to do them all together, or?
We can do them all together.
To approve invoice warrant AP 26-06A dated August 4th, 2025. Payroll warrant PR 26-03 for the week ending August 2nd, 2025. Warrant dated August 7th, 2025. Invoice warrant AP 26-06 dated August 7th, 2025. And invoice warrant AP 26-07 dated August 14th, 2025. Motion.
Kevin?
Yes.
Denise?
Yes.
Bob? Roger? And I am a yes. Thank you. Next meeting's agenda, the 28th? August 28th? Is that good for everybody?
Could I ask a couple of things to be put on the agenda while we're here?
Rip it.
The hybrid meetings policy we would be talking about, and the flag policy needs to be addressed again to get that done.
It's a sign.
Sign
policy.
policy.
Yeah, it's fine.
Sign and,
We have a flag.
There was a proposed flag one too, so maybe both.
Yeah, there was some changes
A
that town
separate one.
council suggested on the flag.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we do sign and flag, I guess.
so hybrid,
Hybrid meetings and the sign and flag policies.
okay. Good. Okay. No exec session, so I'll take a motion to adjourn, if there's nothing else.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Kevin?
Yes.
Denise?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Roger? Yes. And I am a yes. Good night, everybody. Thank you very much.